Shalom. Kol Hola Yahweh Bahashem. Yahweh Shai Bahashem. Rahahakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. My name is Barad Debal, coming to you from the GMS campus, Indianapolis. And to all those listening and learning, to you I say Shalom, especially to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Today is just another installment of Most High Be True and Every Man a Liar. And of course, as Yahweh has, through his son Yahweh Shai and his men, have been prophesying that, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he is a complete liar. And what I'm about to show, I did a video on this guy, Fauci, some time ago. Actually, it's probably several years back, where, of course, I learned, and our head apostles and elders and bishops had already spoke that, that he was a complete and utter liar, and that eventually things will be exposed and things will come out. So he's just one small portion of how Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is exposing this current present wicked world that's ruled by the wicked. Job 9:24, the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. And let's start with the scripture of today for this series or lesson, and have some other thoughts to come to mind. This is the book of Romans chapter 3 verse 4. It says, actually I want one more verse. It's verse 3. It says, "For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai without effect? Most High forbid. Yea, let the Most High be true, and every man a liar, as it is written. Thou mayest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged." And so, how are we justified in our sayings? It's because we're saying, "Thus said the Lord." And let's get the word justified real quick. Justified. It says having or showing to have a just, right, or reasonable basis. All right. So we're speaking, "Thus said the Lord," and we're bringing, a reasonable basis to the truth of everything that's happening on earth, letting you know why these things are happening. Okay, who these things are, where it's coming from. Okay, who's actually in control. All right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is in control of all these things. So when we read the things in the Bible, like he said, "My words are pure words," 7 times pure, roughly paraphrasing, we know that everything in which he said, one jot, one tittle, right, shall no wise pass until all be fulfilled. Everything is going to be shown. And so as I'm bringing out Fauci, we're seeing that, of course, as it says, as the leaders are, right, so are his officers. And so he would be an officer, because during the time of the CVID, he was the front man, all over the news, all over the media, and he was getting all type of accolades and glory for his, what they would say, expertise. But we also know that, there's a lot of pseudoscience that Paul even spoken of, right? False science. All right. So with that being said, let's get into this here. I'm just going to play. This was a video that was posted. This is fair use. Don't look to receive any type of monetary gain. I'm just going to play a few minutes of this, just so we can get a grasp now as to him being questioned, when before he was all over the news answering questions and speaking. And look at the shame now.
I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Hopefully
What color's
you
the
can hear
carpet
this.
in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more. Brown versus Walker, 1896.
What would be the reason of him being pardoned? Let's look up pardon. Excuse me. And again, this is pardon. He said he has been pardoned. What would be the reason of being pardoned if he was a doctor that was helping the people? It says the excusing of an offense without exacting a penalty. So he's been pardoned from maybe any monetary fines, any jail time, any type of anything that would come against him. All right. So why would he be pardoned when he was just a doctor helping millions of people? So when you get time, you can go back and you can look at the fullness of this video. But I just want to get where he asks at least a question or two and his response.
When he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic you got rich, didn't you? You got rich while people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally. Cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you? That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
You remember Greg Folkers? Who was that?
All right. So you can look at the rest of this. It's right here posted. Let's get back to some of these scriptures. This is the book, and this is short. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans." And of course, the Chaldeans, the modern day Chaldeans, are the Amalekites, those who are running the world, those who actually now are connecting the U.S. militaries and the Israeli militaries, those high elites who are pushing the buttons and moving pieces around, those who hold the banking, the monetary systems, these top elite banking families, the entertainment systems, the media, okay, those who are the high ups, the high echelon of society, those who actually have been hiding in the background for long periods of time. Now we're in the time of exposure, okay? And the daughter of Babylon, also, aka America, is coming down because of this. Is like these elites prize possession, okay? And it says, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Now we've seen the decay that's happening unto this place. See, John's seen this woman, and it was beautiful, illustrious, glorious, but it was all wickedness, full of abominations. Okay, so when people see America on the outside and how it portrays itself as mighty kingdom, prestigious in education, wealth, of all sentiments and odors and people and languages, it's a metropolitan of the world, okay, where everyone was coming to flock, all over the world. Now people are starting to see and smell its decay, okay, its decline. So it says, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And that's what how people all over the world see in this place, right? And they see who's involved, who's connected with this place, right? The elite, okay, the allies of U.S., the only main ally, which is Israel, all right? It says, take the millstone and grind meal, uncover the locks and make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. So before the Lord brings forth his judgment, there has to be an exposure, okay? Just like in court, just like how Fauci sat before the people and he spoke all these things, and then now he's gotten pardoned of crimes, but he hasn't been pardoned by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All the things in which he has a ton of blood on his hands, and a lot of people and a lot of others just like him, all right? It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. And so when Yahushua returns, as they're starting this third world's war, going into this third world's war, missiles being shot. We also know the Kuragma being implemented. Two major prophecies. You got the famine, the infighting that's actually brewing as well, sedition among men, several other things, but the two major ones is that Kuragma and this third world war, and we see in it things being implemented as we speak. Lord is soon about to bring this thing to a close. Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter 49 verse 10. It says, but I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places. So just like him, right, when you look at the video, all the things he did with his employees, emails that he was sending, calls he was making, interviews he were doing, whether they were openly or in secret, a lot of these things the man that was asking these questions was bringing out. And he pleaded the fifth, though he had been pardoned. So it says, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So, like, you're starting to see it's coming up that Esau, this whole nation, is going to be utterly taken down. Every aspect, from their education system to their monetary systems to their government and military systems, three of the major things that they hold true. And of course, the people, if you want to add that as well, you seeing it. Everything is being uncovered. All right. Knowledge shall increase, Daniel. And as knowledge have increased, more people are getting access to more information, and more information is bringing out the truth. And so they can no longer control the narrative anymore. At some point, they're going to, another prophecy to speak of is getting the men off the streets. what we say is a famine of the word. Okay, it says because they can't handle, you know, the backlash that's coming from all the lies and all the deceit and all the death and all the things that they've put on the whole entire earth, right? That's why they're becoming small, right? He's made them small among the heathens. Everyone is narrowing in on this one particular group of people, all right? And understanding of all the life's problems on the earth, current and presently, are from his hand. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has allowed him to rule so we could see what wickedness and evil really is. You have animals with cancer cells on their bodies. You have fish beaching themselves or dying, birds falling out of the sky, animals that, you know, they're saying they can barely find or getting close to extinct. You can barely see the bees and things like that on the earth. And this is by their rulership. But then you also have a prophecy that they will look to persecute the poor and put accusations, as they have so always have, on the Israelites, who are just at the bottom. We have no control, no might in our hand. But anyway, this is the last book. This is the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 2 and 3. It says, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed." Okay, neither hid that shall not be known. Say that because that's on every level, right? Us brethren, you know, because it tells you, you know, if you're not true in this thing, the Lord is going to expose it, and he's going to uncover that as well, because we're in that time of apostasies and hypocrites and agents. And so it'll be made known to all men what sort of brother or person you are. All right. He also talked about those in the household. You know, man's foes will be those of your own house. You know, just to throw that out there. People in your family, people that are close to you, you think to be close to you. He's going to expose and give you a spirit, to show you through the spirit, if we walk in the spirit, and make those corrections, and have to make our corrections, you know, in our life to be more spiritual, you know, in the eyesight of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, to see these things. So, I'll read that again. He says, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known, that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness, ye shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear, in the closet, shall be proclaimed upon the housetop." So just even with the Israelites, the true men teaching and preaching, the Lord has given us a spirit of understanding his word. He's given us wisdom, and these things we now, you know, we learn, and whether it be in our homes, praying, you know, teaching, and amongst brethren, then we go out and we teach these things. We proclaim the truth to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and part of proclaiming that truth is also speaking of these top wicked elite, these nobles, and their wicked deeds, along with our people as well. Let me get this last scripture. I have another one where the scriptures say, "Then shall they speak in great boldness in the face of such that has afflicted them," right? Roughly paraphrasing, but the one I want to get is this here. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verses 27. It says, "For evil shall be put out and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish, and corruption shall be overcome. Because what was going on in that video is corrupt, and he had many people on under his payroll. So not only himself, but everyone underneath him that knew what was going on. People who weren't with him but did agreements with him knew that what was going on. They're all should be implicated, right? But it says, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which had been so long without fruit shall be declared. And the truth is being declared, and eventually it's going to overwhelm this whole entire earth, this whole entire planet, soon and very soon. So I hope that this lesson was edifying, uplifting, and exhorting to the elect body of true believers. Before I end, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rahahakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. Until next time, all those listening and learning to you, I say Shalom.